Okay, SEO Explained with CJ. Welcome. So, SEO is not expensive. Okay, right? I bet you don't agree with that, which would be quite understandable. So, let me explain my viewpoint as to why I say SEO is not expensive. Because I believe it's more about a mindset and looking at this as a whole to really understand. And whenever I walk through that here in a few minutes, I believe you'll see where I'm coming from in realizing that SEO is not expensive. Now, let me caveat that with the fact that I believe SEO can be expensive for a under certain circumstances for certain companies. Um, Depending on the situation you've got yourself into. And I think that's where we need to really analyze um, my approach to how to budget SEO and when your company is right for SEO, as well as the expectations on SEO. So why do I say SEO is not expensive? Because when you really look at all the forms of marketing out there, you'll find that SEO is actually on the moderate to low side of things in comparison. Um, and I'll lay that out here in a couple minutes. So then so then why is SEO expensive, right? So we already know that it's and again I'll get specific that it's definitely not the highest expense out there when it comes to marketing. Um, and it might even be one of the lower ones, right? So I'll lay them all out. You can judge for yourself. So then why might it be expensive? Well, it's often expensive for certain circumstances. For instance, new businesses. New businesses come along. They, if you make under 600,000 and you're a new or smaller business, you come along and you see SEO as this shiny way of getting your business to grow quickly. And oftentimes, let's just say 9 times out of 10, I find that these companies who make under 600,000, which is completely commendable, by the way. Nothing wrong with making a revenue under 600,000. Probably 80% of the businesses in the US make under a million is the statistic that I heard a few years ago. So completely commendable. And these are the companies that want to grow. And every company starts out this way. So there's nothing wrong with this at all. The issue comes whenever you are in this newer phase or this younger phase of your revenue growth, and then you go for SEO and it's like the only thing you're doing. You go from, oh, I'm a referral only business, to now I'm going to try SEO. I'm not going to do any pay per click or any of that stuff because that doesn't work. I've experienced in the past, I had troubles, these kind of things, right? So I'm going to go with SEO. And then you find that, pretty much you shouldn't do any SEO with any company unless it's at least 1500, roughly. That's about the average price that an SEO company is actually able to get results from. So anything less, you're probably not going to get any results that you're really looking for. So now you've bid off a big part of your budget. Probably majority of your budget has now been spent on SEO. Your revenue doesn't justify that budget, and you're not doing anything else. So you're expecting it immediately, and that's not how SEO works. So your return on investment is not going to come quick enough. Your budget is too high for your revenue. And 3, it's the only thing you're doing. Recipe for failure. These businesses, 10 out of 10 say SEO is expensive, and that's why. They've tried it, they didn't give it a long enough time, and it didn't work for them because either 1, they chose a company that couldn't make it work because they didn't choose the right company. 2, they gave up early. 3, it was a high line item. It was the only thing they were attempting, and the revenue didn't justify, right? That happens a lot. And a lot of companies out there might not want to believe that's true, but that's true. If you're making under 600,000, SEO is not the thing that you should be doing. Okay. If you can budget for it based on whatever your circumstances might be, hey, some companies have great profit margins, stacked a lot of cash, and they're ready to do an investment. I'm not going to say don't try it, but don't make it your only thing. Okay. So let's look at SEO. Why is SEO not expensive then? Okay. In order to say SEO is not expensive, you have to be in the mindset of a larger business. You can be a smaller business, 600K to a million, even slightly under 600K, with again good profitability, stacked cash. Um, and in the 1 to 5 million range, right? So you can businesses in these smaller ranges can still think like a large company, and they should. Great book out there called Think Big and Act Small. We should all be thinking big in our business, but don't act larger than your business is, right? That's how you waste a lot of money. Now, some people can, take big risks and get big rewards. Most of the people that take big risks burn out, and you don't want to do that. So, um, grow based on the size of your company. So the mindset here is to think like a large company. So what does a large company do? A large company looks at their revenue. They're open with their marketing company about their revenue. They work with their marketing company to decide a percentage of their revenue that goes to marketing. Then they divide that percentage of marketing into marketing channels that attack different methods. For instance, some should be for branding, some should be for search, some should be for paid, some should be for social, etc. Right? And I'll break that down even more clearly here in just a moment. So a big company first looks at their revenue, decides a percentage that's comfortable, that's not going to put them out of business, takes that percentage and applies it to multiple channels. Then they don't give up on those channels. They test those channels monthly, quarterly, 6 months, yearly, and they have expectations for those. Some channels aren't going to work in the first month because they're building branding, they're building reputation, they're building movement in Google that hasn't made it to the top. So some are going to work quicker, some are going to take longer. Maybe some take, like SEO, take a little longer, but then has better rewards once it works. Some works instantly, but only grows if you keep pumping it with money, pay per click. Others are about branding, building brand in a community or social over time, right? And you have to be dividing your budget in a way where you can know that you're hitting different angles. Different angles have different expectations. And I think this is where all of a sudden SEO just becomes a line item. And you realize that when SEO becomes a line item in a total marketing budget, that SEO is actually not the biggest line item. It's not even close most of the time. It might be one of the larger ones in the beginning, more or less. It might be somewhat of a larger expense or pretty comparable to some others. But then your business grows and you keep growing your marketing budget with it. And then you start realizing, wow, there is so much more expensive forms of marketing that big companies are doing it, but it works. And you need to do it too. Right time, when the time's ready, when the growth's ready. So my biggest piece of advice here is work with your marketing company in determining a percentage of your revenue to apply to marketing. I say 6, 9, 12. I don't think we need to go above 12. Now, if you've got an extremely massive profit margin in your company, okay, well, that's when you can go higher. A lot of local service businesses have high equipment costs, office spaces, stuff like that. Often employees can be the highest line item, but then, a lot of companies have equipment costs and stuff too, depending on the business, right? So these companies are going to be needing different, your business, your profit margins, no less than 6%. You've got to at least put 6% into your business. And I mean 6% of your revenue. Once you pick your budget, you can start dividing percentage of budget up based on channel. But right now, we're talking percentage of business to marketing. Any company out there who says I'm referral only business, that's great, right? If you're a referral only business, then you are doing something right because that means you're providing a fabulous service and you're getting your business based on the fact that you're just good at what you provide. That's the foundation. You have laid a solid foundation. That's not going to scale you. Maybe slowly over time it will. But if you want to grow large and you really want to, I don't know, 3x, 5x, 10x that business, then you're going to have to go beyond referrals and you're going to have to start doing traditional or marketing. But here's the thing, referrals and marketing doesn't mean referrals stop. Think about it this way, if you're getting all your business on referrals, marketing is going to massively increase referrals because marketing is going to drive in a lot of new customers. A lot of new customers that you're able to provide your fabulous service to. So the new customers that come in from your marketing efforts that you provide the fabulous service to are now all new referrals, like new referral potential. And they're going to drive your referral business up. Some people call them sneezers. When someone comes to you and they love you so much, then they're going to sneeze that out to everyone. When you have you ever bought something and you're just like, love that thing so much, all you do is talk about it. Oh my God, you got to get one of these, got to get one of that. You are now a sales rep for the company that you bought the product from because you love it so much. So when you're ready to grow your business on a more rapid, pace, and then that means you're ready to step beyond referrals, you've got to build a marketing budget. The marketing budget will drive leads. Those leads will be more referrals. It's just exponential at that point. So you just have to decide what level of business do I want to play at? Do I want to keep playing where I am? And do I want to scale up? Now, you never scale up and lose the integrity of your service. That's not how you get referrals. So you got to always keep the integrity of where your business is, right? But it is hard. You'll be hard pressed to find businesses that go out of business because they had too much business, right? You might put people on waiting lists, this and that, but trust me, it's better to have massive amount of leads come in than it is the opposite, because you can go out of business with no leads. So anyhow, it's a mindset. We've decided we're going to grow. So now it's about a budget. Notice that I'm not just talking about SEO. People come in SEO 1,500, SEO $2,000, SEO 500, SEO whatever, and like those numbers are so individualized that it's just, oh my God, like I can't even comprehend it. Don't approach your marketing this way. Revenue, percentage for budget, divide that up appropriately. Okay. So don't be afraid to tell your marketing company your revenue. We need to know your revenue. We are not judging you. I don't care if you're a $500,000 business, a $100,000 business. If you started it and you only make 50,000, if you make 50 million, whatever, the full spectrum of $50,000 person to a $50 million person is the same to me. You are a business owner who's trying to deliver something special, and you should be commended for your efforts to go out there and run a business, because damn, is that difficult. And it's rewarding and it's fun and it's difficult. No judgment should be passed from a marketing company based on someone's revenue. If we're in it together, then we're here to grow, right? So, and imagine if a marketing company can say they came to me with 50,000 a year in revenue and we took them to whatever million, or 100,000 or 300,000, we took them to whatever million. That's every marketing company wants that testimonial. They want that story. But more importantly, we want to make things work so we get that story. So tell us your revenue. Be open, be honest. It's okay. We're in it together, right? Now let's pick a percentage that's comfortable. Are we going to go in the 6% range, the 9% range, the 12% range? Okay, great. Now we know that, you make, X amount of million, whatever. You make $1 million and we're going to go 6%. And we're talking $60,000 is our yearly budget. Divide that by 12. And we got, you know, my math is actually horrible. So what is that about divided by 12? That's about 5,000 a month to get to 60,000 a year, roughly. So, okay, now we got about 5,000 a month to play with. Now that we know this, and we say you're in a range to do about 1,500 for SEO, we should get you on the search game. Okay, 5,000 minus 1,500. Bam. Okay, sounds good. Looks like I got 3,500 left over. Okay, what am I doing with that 3,500? Well, I want to be branded out there, display style. Okay, great. Let's do some display ads, 500. Okay, that brings you down to 3 grand. Okay, great. I need a social media presence, but I'm a smaller business, so I just need a little software that's going to help my team push it out to multiple places, save us some time. Great. 150 a month. Okay, good. Cool. Typical software price for this deal. Okay. Great. Now we got 2750, okay, or 2850. I think we need to put a lot of that towards Google paid. So now, boom, 2850 to Google. Maybe you do 500 for an email, and then now we're really talking about, like about 2450 or whatever that may be to Google pay per click. Okay. So now we realize we're playing on a little bit of smaller scale. We've divided it up. We've got some SEO for search. We've got some pay per click for ROI, quick ROI. We've got some email to our existing customer list for returned customers. We've got a social media software that's going to allow my team to stay consistent posting and branding. We've got some display ads that's going to go out for 500 a month or so. That's going to target people in my area at a certain income range or whatever those parameters may be. And we're going to display ads to them on their computers digitally. Okay. So now you realize that SEO is a line item, and it actually wasn't the largest one. Pay per click was, often is when you're talking digital. And that's how you approach it. And now you have expectations. Okay, the SEO is going to earn its way up to the top. It's going to take a little while. The pay-per-click is going to happen instantly. The email list should start generating some kind of return customer base. The social media is going to build a brand for me over time. So who knows how quick that'll work, but at least I'll be consistent. Or the people that came from my ads are going to go to my social media just to see if I have a presence. The presence alone will help build trust in the ad, right? The display ads, I don't know if they're going to get a lot of clicks, but they're going to get a lot of views and people are going to see them. That's going to help the branding. Now I do a search, I see it again. Wow, Puzzle is putting together this brand, and boom, I'm ready to search for you, choose you. Okay. That's the mentality. This is why SEO is not expensive. It could be more expensive in the beginning at the kind of income range that I'm talking about, but let's paint a new picture. I'm a $5 million business. Okay. And I'm a $5 million business. And I'm talking, let's do 9%, 9%. We're talking like 25,000 a month type stuff here. And now I'm going to do maybe 5,000 for SEO. I'm going to do another 5,000 for local services. I might do 5 or 7,500 for pay per click. I'm going to do my email marketing. I might hire someone to actually manage the social media for $1,000, and then I'm going to take like maybe another 5 to 7,500 and do a direct mail campaign, or maybe get a billboard or two. I'm not ready for TV or radio yet because I need at least 10K for TV or radio minimum. Okay. So now look, SEO is still not even your smallest line item. Pay per clicks higher, billboards are higher, email marketing. I mean, direct mail marketing. If I'm going to 25,000 homes, I'm probably spending at least $5,000 a month to hit those homes. If I go to 55,000 homes, I'm probably doing about 10 grand, So, but as my budget grows, my revenue, I know that I'm talking a percentage of a revenue. That revenue is now divided by search, paid, email, social, direct mail, vehicle reps, billboards, and then videos posted on social, managed social. Okay, now I'm up in the 5 million to 10 to 20 to 30 range. Okay, great. All the above, plus more billboards, plus more direct mail, plus more SEO, plus more pay per click. And now I'm on TV. So I'm doing commercials. I'm spending 15 to 25,000 a month just on the commercials, right? Or the radio. And then I'm tracking everything. So I know what works and what doesn't. But you see how quickly SEO is just a line item and it's not the biggest expense often. It'll most likely be a larger expense at a smaller revenue because in the beginning, you definitely want to put your money towards digital. You want to be doing SEO, pay per click, or Google local service ads, pay per call, and display advertisement and social. That's getting the brand out there. That's getting paid ROI immediate. That's getting earned SEO. And then as your company grows and your revenue grows, you start realizing that direct mail, billboards, radio, TV, um, video content creation, these all become much, much higher expenses. Sales teams, I mean, one sales rep who's making outbound telemarketing calls is going to be more than any SEO. And you're going to want to build a sales team at some point, making outbound calls, that's often the case. So SEO is not expensive. It's a line item in an overall marketing budget. The real key here is start looking at your company like a big company and start looking at a marketing budget as something where you need to tackle multiple angles and have proper expectations for what each one of those angles are. You want to be in search engines. You want to be doing some form of paid uh, clicks in the search engines in some capacity. You want to be doing paid branded ads digitally. You want a social media presence in some capacity. You have to be email marketing your customer list. It's a lot hard. It's a lot more expensive to acquire a new customer than it is to get a repeat customer. So email those repeat customers, give them a reason to come back. And then as your business grows, get in their mailbox, get on their radio, get on their TV, get on their phone, get in the community, start joining trade shows, events, get you a trade show booth, go to all the local events, build a presence. And this is how you view things. So, why is SEO expensive? Why is SEO expensive? SEO is expensive because it's the only thing you're doing. You barely have the revenue to cover it, and you need it to work right away when it's not going to. So, don't get yourself into that situation. You could be a large company who's overexpending yourself on SEO. You've got a high revenue and you're still putting all your eggs in this SEO only basket and you're just paying tons of money and you're not doing other forms that maybe you should. Scale your SEO to about 3% of your revenue. Then apply at least the same thing that you are for SEO to some form of paid media, pay per click, Google local services, match it. Maybe do a little more or match it. Then consider all the other things that I've talked about. Don't leave these things out. They all work together. Your company to a customer is a puzzle. And each time they see you, each touch point, each little visual, each little marketing thing here, you hit them up with here, you drove by on the van there, they saw the billboard there, they did a search and saw you here. Those are all pieces. And those puzzle pieces eventually get put together until someone paints a picture and says, wow, okay, that's the person I trust and I'm ready. Some people paint that picture quicker than others. Some people only need a piece or two, right? See you once here and they're ready. They just like you for some reason, or it's just good timing. Some people need to see you over and over. I am a little old school. I listen to talk radio a lot. I enjoy it. I listen to podcasts too, but I do listen to talk radio when I'm driving my car. I've heard ads from the same companies for years, and I have a lot of their products, but I didn't buy them in year 1. I bought them in like year 4 or 5, and I don't even know why. I heard them every day. Repetition was there for 4 or 5 years. I said, "You know what? I should try that. You know what? I should try that." And then one day, it just boop, light switch up. I'm gonna try that. But man, did they have to be consistent on their marketing for me. Some people might have bought it the first ad they heard. And it's like this with every business and company. Everyone's a little different. Okay. So find your revenue, choose your percentage, divide it properly, be consistent, don't give up. Don't put too much here and too little here. You got to play with those levels. Sometimes you might be putting a little too much here and a little less here, and you work it, adjust it, find the sweet spots. It's never a perfect system. You have to test, you have to measure, you have trial, you have error. You have some months that work better than others, so you don't give up right away. But instead you're attentive, you pay attention, so you have to have good expectations, you have to have good awareness, you have to pay attention to what's going on, you have to have a plan. You have to understand that each channel of marketing serves a purpose and has its own set of expectations. So I hope you enjoyed that. This to me is why SEO is not expensive, because it's a line item in an overall budget. And once you build a budget, you find that there are some expensive forms of marketing out there. SEO is pretty moderate. Pick the right budget. 3% of your revenue should go to SEO. If you're smaller, under 600K, maybe you don't have money stacked up for investing in a high profit margin or a low profit margin, then you don't start there. You get a good website, get active on it. Start with something like Google Local Services, display advertisement, going in the community. We build plans for people all the time. It's simple in the sense that we know where to start and we know where to grow to. Along the way, we're making little adjustments, right? But don't let a SEO company go in there, try to sell you just so they can make some money if it's not going to be the appropriate for your revenue. Don't be afraid to share your revenue with your marketing team. You guys are a team, okay? That's the point of team, is work together, okay? So anyways, thank you for listening to SEO Explained with CJ. I hope you enjoy this topic. Give us a call or email. Go to theseocontractor.com and stay tuned for the more weekly discussions on SEO. Okay. Thank you so much.